Welcome back to the pre-US Open edition of Golf DMV, pre-Father's Day edition of Golf DMV, post-round with LB's new irons edition of Golf DMV. However you want to slice it, it's going to be a great show. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about Worthington Manor. The guys played around there. We're going to talk about LB's new clubs. I got my new driver and the putter in. We're going to talk a little bit of PGA. Of course, some guy that I never heard of won in South Carolina ahead of the US Open. Some Corn Ferry Tour stuff to talk about. And also, Vern's big surprise to Golf DMV has been revealed. And ladies and gentlemen, it's a great surprise. Can't wait to share with you guys what it was. And again, it's typical of Vernon Brown to do something like this because he's a very nice and kind, generous guy. And so I just want to say thank you. Well, I've said thank you before, but I'm going to say thank you again on the show. Okay. And then we'll say thank you again once we present what the whole thing was. But let's start with the round at Worthington. It was LB, it was Vern, it was Glenn, and it was Aaron, correct? Yes. Yeah. All right, Worthington. Now, if I remember correctly, Worthington is the course that hole number one automatically gives me fits because they used to have all the trees and high grass and stuff to the left. And because my miss off the tee box is always left, it's always going to slice left. If I miss, I will find myself over there. But they've cut that down, right? Like that's not the case anymore.
Completely down.
Yeah, nice. You can see the green now from the tee box where you couldn't see it before.
Now it's my favorite starting hole.
Well, but the hill is still there. They didn't do anything about the terrain.
It went from hard to like slightly less hard. That's
right.
You can see your mistake now instead of before.
Instead of can't find it. Right. Exactly. Right. Automatically going to lose a ball when it comes to Worthington for me anyway. So it rained Thursday, Friday. It was cart paths only, correct?
Yes.
It was. Okay. If I can just answer a couple of if there are two functional questions that somebody can get from Golf DMV about our round at Worthington, like, hey, how was it? Is it, and LB and I we can talk about this in a second, how walkable is Worthington? Because there we got that going on. Yes. But then how does it play after a rain? And I'll get LB's thoughts, but I can safely say that if it's fresh after a 24-hour, I mean Friday it came down like 2 inches. It was a lot of rain Friday. No problems for me at Worthington, other than the bunkers. I mean, obviously, anywhere you go, if it rains a lot, the bunkers are going to hold water. But other than that, I found the course to be really not a total slop fest. Nice. More than playable, not slinging mud everywhere. And shoot, by the end of the round, it was starting to, I would say, dry out a little bit. Where you can start driving on the. I mean, we didn't, but you can start driving on the fairways. Would you agree with that, LB, or no?
No, not driving on the fairways because
no. I'm talking about the whole. I'm talking about the overall it being playable after.
Oh yeah. It was definitely playable. There were. Yeah. And back to the walking. So three of the four walked.
Okay.
Just put that out there now. Three of the four walked. Let me say that way.
I mean, it was car path only, so I had to do a lot of walking as well. So I feel like
we
had this shared experience pretty much. Same.
I disagree. I have to disagree with that. You weren't as hot as I was when I got home.
Probably not. But the funny, so for those who don't know, again, if you haven't played Worthington, it's up Frederick's Way, right?
Urbana.
It's in Urbana.
Urbana.
Not unlike Whiskey or Musket Ridge, a lot of hills and valleys. So in the text the night before, our buddy Glenn is just like, you know what, I'm walking. And then LB's like, I think I'm walking too. He says in the text, he's like, I only remember there being hills on 9 and 17. And I started to correct him immediately, but I'll let him find out. That's fine.
Me too. But I didn't even respond because I'm watching this play out and I'm like, they're playing Worthington, right? Like this is like not Whiskey Creek. This is Worthington.
The whole thing is a hill.
Yes, it's not.
Well, but I don't remember. There are hills, but they're not hills. You know what I mean? There's level to hills. There's hills and there's mountains.
And after saying that, tell Claude what you told me between hole 1 and hole 2 when you look at the cart. Like
I was rethinking it after something like that. I forget what I said.
I kept telling the three of them, Claude. I was like, hey, I got the second seat here if you want it. But I think Glenn said that he didn't want to give me the satisfaction of tapping out.
Right. But to that point, he did. So I was watching him. I don't know how we were on, but I think we were in the back at that point.
We were on the back at this point. It was like 14 or something.
Yeah, about 14 or something like that. And then I see Glenn sitting in the car because we had to wait a couple times for people in front of us. And I was like, Aaron, look who tapped out first. The young guy tapped out first.
We were just waiting on the tee box. He said, I just needed to have a seat. His drinks were in there.
Right. But look, so on 18 when we finished, Glenn jumps and throws his bag on the back because he carried it. I give him credit. He carried his bag. He didn't have a push cart. He's carried his bag the whole time, and so he threw his on the cart and then jumped in the seat. I'm like, hey, what you doing, man? He's like, hey, the round's over. It don't count, man.
He was done. He was done with it. Well, that's interesting. I mean, because so would you consider it after walking it a walkable course?
Yeah, I mean, it was absolutely.
I mean,
walkable.
Obviously, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I did it. I mean, and it really wasn't. I cramped up on hole 12 or 13. My right calf got a little knot in it there for a minute. I had to stop and work that out. Yeah. But other than that, like some of the hills, I'll be huffing up the hill. And then once I get to the green or whatever, shot or whatever, I'll just stand there for 30 seconds or so, catch my breath, and then it was fine.
Yeah,
but I think it's going to be. I'm really looking. I am looking forward to Pinehurst, but I'm really curious to see how it plays out when I don't have to carry. I'm not pushing a cart or a bag or anything like that. I'm just walking.
Right.
I personally think that's gonna make a huge difference because sometimes you pushing a cart up a hill or trying to drag it, whatever it is. I mean, it doesn't sound like much, but after
it becomes a lot. Yeah.
After 4 hours of pushing it takes its toll. It was a good round. The course was in good shape. It held up well with the rain. Yep. There were some places you would walk, it was really soggy, like any course with that much rain. Let's see, what else can I tell you about it?
So even after all that rain, in terms of Worthington being a tough course, may kick your ass a little bit. The greens were not any easier. The quote unquote slow greens when they were wet. There were a couple of early holes where Aaron chipped up there and then went across the green, and they're dangerous. And the thing I like about these more than even so PB Dye gets some of this because they have the super tiered greens and a lot of hills. Worthington's greens are tricky because there's a lot of just like huge breaks that you can't
subtle, very very subtle,
like a slope, but you hit it wrong and it goes 30 yards backwards off the edge of the green. So
we had a lot of that.
Yeah, in the rain again after a nice rain, a worthy test. So I can't imagine. And Claude knows because he and I played there one time when they were getting ready for the MSGA, for the Maryland Open, and it was even worse. It was just treacherous,
crazy.
But I can see. And the last thing to LB's point about it being walkable. Keep in mind too, we're doing this in June and like max humidity after a huge rain, so that's going to drain you. I feel like on a nice fall, like a nice crisp spring or fall day. 60 degrees, something like that. It probably a much easier, a much easier walk than what it was.
Yeah. It really wasn't. It wasn't that bad. I did. Right. So when I did come home, took a shower, I got in my recliner, and I was like, "What time?" I was like, "We're gonna leave in a couple hours to go get something dinner." She's like, "Cool," and I just sat there and kind of, just kept. I was trying to watch something. I don't even know what it was one to, just golf or whatever. But I kept waking up and going, "Oh, what happened? What happened?
Where am I? Where am I?"
Yeah. No, that's so. What I did this morning, though, to keep the momentum going, I got up this morning first thing I did was I did 3 miles on my elliptical this morning. So I'm gonna keep it up until Pinehurst, so we can at least if nothing else, I should have enough stamina to walk the course.
But this is a question. So post Pinehurst, do you imagine that there'll be an evolution in the way that we play and the fact that we might walk more courses?
I think I will, as long as especially if Aaron is, because Aaron likes to walk and Glenn obviously likes to walk. Well, we know Vern don't like to walk. He's already said that. So if somebody else is walking, then I will be definitely more inclined to walk. And I actually think I'm going to think about upgrading my push cart because when I got a Craigslist push cart, so it's functional, but it's functional. You
want to get one with all the different compartments and the phone holder.
No, I need all that. I just need my front wheel is stationary. It doesn't swivel.
You need it to swivel.
So exactly. It can be a pain in the ass. So I need one that swivels. So I might put that. Father's Day is coming up. Yeah.
I have a cart for you. I'm the designated driver of the group.
Right, you did.
And it was wild, Clark, because we've been all hit. I did feel like a jerk sometimes. We'd all hit. I just hop in the cart and as they start pushing down the hill, I just speed past them.
Move out the way. He's coming through.
I would basically be watching their shots. I'd just be way up there. I'd just be like looking back, like, all right, here it goes.
That's too funny. By the way, I forgot. So Aaron listened to the show last weekend because I remember we talked a little bit about he didn't text in his score for Maryland National. He texted me after listening to the show. He shot an 88 last week at Maryland National. Yeah. Take that, Mr. 106. I shot at 88. So he said,
Question my score again.
right. I just wanted to know because he didn't say anything. But anyway, so LB, you played with your new irons.
Yes, first round.
How did you feel?
First round, my new irons. I love them.
Okay.
I really do. They felt great. They sounded great.
Okay, hold on 1 second. So these are the new irons that you got fitted from the Golf Doctor.
From the Golf Doctor, yes.
If someone go back maybe 8 episodes when we started talking about fitting and just listen to LB say he didn't need to get fitted.
I didn't need to get fitted. Well,
okay, now go ahead and tell us how much you love the clubs you got fitted.
Okay, we will never let you forget it. Yeah.
Hey, this is what it is. Hey,
Callaway Mavericks, right? What kind of clubs? Callaway Mavericks?
Yeah, I have the Callaway Mavericks with some name I'll forget. Graphite shafts, the CP2 grips on them. They money. They are money. We was on one hole, par 3. I don't know, it was like 160 yards or something like that.
That's the uphill.
Yeah, uphill, par 3. Yep. Hit the flag with a 7
he
iron.
He did.
So yeah, of course, it ricocheted all way, but I did hit the flag.
Oh, so you literally hit the flag?
Yeah,
I hit the flag. Yeah.
My man.
Every time I hit it, I was like, I love these clubs.
He was exclaiming it. Yeah, this is how I knew. I was like, this is real. This is
because we've heard him scream on the course before.
Yeah. Oh,
I love these clubs.
Yeah. Love is not the 4-letter word that he's
right.
Not usually.
But yeah, they really performed well. I had a couple squirrely shots. I mean, it's just me. It wasn't the club's fault. Usually the operator's fault. But yeah, I do like them. I love the way they feel. This week will be another multiple day of range time. I was telling somebody, maybe it was Vern. I went to the range last Monday evening. Tuesday I went at 6 a.m. and at 6 p.m. And I skipped Wednesday and I went Thursday. So yeah, I've been trying to get them in there. But I do enjoy it. They just feel really good. And I love the way they sound. And I'm still working on distance control because the wedges are not, I don't know my distances consistently enough for my wedges yet. Right. And that showed up a few times the other day when I would thinking I'm hitting 100-yard shots and I was hitting 80, or if I'm hitting, whatever. So yeah, I got to work that out. But yes, absolutely, thumbs up. Golf Doctor, go see him, but just pack your patience. That's all I can tell you.
Just be patient.
Yes.
So my driver came in. So the clubs I got fitted for too were the Callaway Mavericks, the same with the irons. The driver was the Callaway Epic. Came in along with the putter. And I hadn't played anything with him, but I did go to the driving range Saturday night with Manny, and I'm teeing it up with the driver. And it's just, I'm hooking it and it's and hooking low. And I'm like, what in the world is going on with this? So I look at it and I start to think to myself, you know what? I'm going to adjust this because I know it's low lofted. Like it's like a 9.5 degrees, something like that, with hardly any spin. He's trying to do anything he do to get the spin out of. So it's not ballooning. Yeah. Exactly. So what I ended up doing was raise it 1 degree as far as the loft and made it not play neutral, but play it draw. And it was fine. It was fine. I was hitting it a little further than I normally do, keeping it straight. I didn't have one slice, you know what I mean, which is fantastic for me. So, but again, I'm not impressed with anything that I do at the driving range, and I don't know if you guys feel this way. I'm just like it helps with confidence and it helps get some swings going. But I've had great sessions at the driving range, and even the rare time I even get to the range before around, I'll and feel fine. Like at Heritage Oaks, I felt great before we started the round. You know what I mean? I was hitting the ball, felt great, hitting it straight, target practice. For some reason, when I get on the course, I don't know whether it's like I'm on the range. I feel like I'm in a confined area, and also obviously, and obviously there's no consequences for a bad shot. So I feel like I'm swinging faster and just like but then as soon as I get on the course, it's like I'm in this big space and I don't know what to do. And God forbid the tee box is slanted, then it's all bad. Like I don't know. It for some reason it messes up with my cognitive, situation where I don't know what is straight because the tee boxes are slanted.
You can't visualize the proper shot, basically.
Exactly. I can't at all. And so why it feels good at the range. I'm glad it does, because at least I don't immediately feel like I wasted money. But but we'll see what happens on the course. And we got Shaladon coming up Father's Day weekend, and so we'll see. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how. I don't want to sound like a quitter. I'm just saying, like, I don't want to oversize what I feel about the driver based
fair.
on the driver. Right. I don't want to say,
right.
guys, it's over. Yeah. Everything's changed. Because I felt that way about my irons, because when I was first hitting with the new joints, I was doing great. You know what I mean? And then Maryland National happens, and then
only golf will do that, where your endorsement of a new thing is, we'll see.
It's predicated on how you play, and how you play. It really has nothing to do with equipment.
Right.
That's the whole part of it. I mean, you could give Tiger, or not Tiger because he can't swing anymore, but a pro golfer, any piece of equipment, and he'd still wax everybody with him, because he has a good swing. Right. Know what the hell he's doing.
And but also to LB's point, do I also put in the work with the clubs as much as I should? Like, I went to the driving range yesterday. Yeah. I need to be, with yesterday being Saturday, because we're recording on a Sunday night, I need to go Monday. Yeah. And I need to go Tuesday, or at least I don't go Tuesday, go Wednesday, and go Thursday again, and maybe take Friday off, get the Shaladon early, hit a warm-up bucket, and then go play. Like, I can't go to the range once a week and then expect to come out here and shoot low 80s. Yeah. That doesn't it's never going to happen. That's not the way it works.
Yeah, because even the days that I went, out of the four times that I went to the range with my new clubs, I could see the difference from the day 1 to day 4. Right. And using them, I was much more comfortable with them. I was hitting them much better. First day, this out of 10 balls. What I do when I go to range, I pick my target out and I take 10 balls, and whatever that club is, and I go for that, whatever that target is. And then I evaluate, okay, out of the 10, I hit 5, good, or whatever. And I work my way up. Right. By the time I got to Thursday, when I went to the range, I'm in the 7s and 8s.
Okay.
Out of the 10s. So because I had been using them, and just you like you're saying, you gotta put the work in. Gotta put the work in. Yeah.
Yep. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous that, like, even today, like, I hadn't even touched the club today. I'm home, but do something. Like, what? Chip. I
told Glenn, we were talking about putting. He said, your putting's gotten better. I was like, yeah, because I sit here in front of the TV watching basketball, and I'm putting the whole time while I'm watching basketball. That's why.
Yeah. You guys may be shocked to know. Exactly. You may be shocked to know, because I love the range, or I used to. But I don't think I've talked about this with you guys. I've only been to the range this year. I think the last time I went was when I tested the speeds for JP for the speed program, which was like January. Oh, wow. That was the last time I've been. Really? Now I'm not doing nothing. So again, we may take some of this portion offline or whatever to talk because this may help you, Clark, because I know you're very busy. I have a green mat, like just a little hitting mat in the house, and it has like a little T shape on there. Basically, I have a mirror. There's like a little slim mirror, little cheap IKEA mirror on the wall, and I just make like, think of it like practicing karate in the basement or something. I'm doing positional stuff over every time I come down here to get some paper towels or something. I pick the club up, 5 swings, right, and the whole point is I'm brushing the same spot on the ground.
Right.
To the point where but what I'm doing is almost like the speed training, except now it's field training, where I'm just like, all right, can I make, you take your practice swing. I said, can I make this correct body position swing feel like my normal swing? And it is working. It is working. I've been having a little trouble with the tee box, so I may go to the range this week. But my irons have been.
He's been on point.
Yeah. And all I'm doing is swinging it. And this one, so again, we'll talk offline, Claude, but I'm doing swinging in the house. So you don't have to go to the range and beat balls every single day. It's again, I would liken it to taekwondo, boxing, or something like that, where you're trying to learn forms. After a while, you keep doing this over and over again. It'll become muscle memory, and then you can just repeat it on the course.
Yeah, I got that club with the it's called the Swing Right 2. I got that off Craigslist too. Yeah. But but it's heavy and it's got the grip in it, and you just practice swinging it. And it, get your hands in the right position. Take away is right. Your follow through comes back. I mean,
Yeah, Michael, I was on line yesterday looking at Michael Breed, and he's got this one. He says don't underestimate the importance of drills. Like there's so many drills you can do in the house, in the office, to work. And so there was this one that I picked up that I did yesterday before going to the range, because one of my issues is that I come over top the ball, which is why sometimes I'll slice it or something like that. And it says to work to make sure you come inside and out. You grab the club, your lead hand is obviously where it normally is, but your trail hand is on the iron part of the club, and you have to bend almost like a hockey stick and go back and come down. Yeah, in order to swipe it, you've got to sit down on it, and you've got and it forces it. It
forces you to rotate the correct way. That's one of the ones I do, Claude. I do a split grip in here probably 30, 40 times a day, sometimes intentionally, and again, sometimes I'm just down here, like you say, I'll be on a call listening, and then again just brushing the ground over and over again. And unlike, I would caution people, anybody who's like, oh, I'm looking at this. I'm sure no one, because I'm trash. But if you're going to do it, you do have to do it with, it can't just be like a feel good practice swing. I have the mirror there to check. Like, so when I finish my position, to check, is my shoulder down? Is the face closed? Blah, blah, blah. And then I just go out there with that feel over and over. So,
and that's what he was saying. But see, here's why I'm trash, because he says, do this. And so I'm like, cool, I'm going to do this. And he says, do this. He says, give it 10, 15 minutes a day. He said, and after 3 or 4 weeks, it would become automatic in your swing. I'm like, 3 or 4 weeks? Like,
who got time for that?
That's why I'm garbage. It's like,
it's only a month, man.
Yes, no, but I'm like, why do I think if I do this one drill, not even 15 minutes, if I do it 5 times, everything's going to be all right? It's like, no, do the drill. What are you doing? This is why you go to Maryland National.
This is why you're up at midnight,
scrolling through videos,
watching yourself on.
Yes, I'm telling you. I went through that Golf Tech app, man. And I went through my lesson portal, and I started in lesson 1, 2019, and I'm just looking at it. Got to do this, and I'm going through all the little tips and all just watching myself hack away at a ball while John Ross is trying to help.
Hey, Golf Tech too. That's all simulated. It's not like at a range or anything, right?
No, it's all indoors.
Indoors. Yeah. Okay.
But you can get outdoor. But there are packages where they'll do some stuff outdoors too. You can go indoors. You can go, outdoors, short game stuff. Yeah, they work through it. Okay, PGA. Let's talk about the pros. I didn't watch much of this tournament. The one in South Carolina. I saw DJ was at the top of the leaderboard, but then the final round he kind of fell back.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, the last 2 rounds, actually. Yeah,
I was going to say after it was after Friday, because when I saw he crept up there, I was like, okay, I need to put a pin in this, and then he was gone, and I was like, okay,
right. And then the day he crept back up there, and then on hole whatever number 15, 14, whatever, he went +3 on a par 4. He went because I was putting new grips on my fairway woods,
right?
So I had the TV on. I was outside, peeping back in and trying to do my thing. And when I went out there, he was 1 shot behind the leader. I went out, put on 4 grips, came back in, and he wasn't even on the top of the leaderboard anymore. I'm like, what happened?
No.
Yeah, he went +3 on like it must have been hole 15 or so. I didn't see what happened, but he went +3, and that was the end of that.
He doesn't care at all.
I was gonna say same demeanor, but he went open just like.
Well, actually, I don't know this. He needs to be concerned, because one of the things that DJ, as of late, that has made him really good has been his wedge play.
Right.
His wedges, he was always hitting the ball, but his wedge play is what catapulted him, I think, up to where he is number 1. He's still number 1, right? And got the Masters and all those wins he had was his wedge play. The last 2 rounds, the end of the third and today in the fourth, his wedge play is what really let him down. There were several holes, and I'm assuming that's what happened on 15 or 14, whatever hole that was, and he got the +3. That it had to be his wedge play, because he was trash with his wedges. There were a couple of times he's in the middle of the fairway. He had what for him was probably a wedge 140 yards into the green, and he's missing them 20 yards to the left.
Really?
He was just straight pulling them. Yeah. Huh. So he needs whatever's happening with him in this particular tournament.
Tighten up.
Yeah, he got to tighten it up, because you're not gonna do squat if you can't. That was his bread and butter. You know what I mean?
And I don't want to step on especially when we get to the Torrey Pines part, where that rough is crazy, where you really get penalized for a miss. By the way, how many weeks has he been number 1? I'm gonna set the over under at 100.
Under.
Oh, I think more than 100. I'm going over.
I'm going under.
133 weeks.
I was going to say probably like 120 something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm surprised.
Sneaky long time. Yeah.
Well, that's what's that? 133 weeks. Oh, weeks. That's what
weeks. Yeah, that's 2 years.
That's 2.5 years.
A little bit over 2 years.
A little more than 2 years.
I'm surprised. I didn't think it was that long. It didn't seem to me it was that long because I thought a couple people had bumped it up, like Rom had bumped it up one time and came, Rory had bumped it up
133 weeks ago. That was the last time.
Wow. I didn't think that.
Well, I mean, what was it? I guess it was not too long ago. I mean, in 2020 when they did the Masters in November, he won that. That's the one he won.
Yeah, that's the one he won. Right.
Yeah. So I mean, it wasn't like so. That's only a few months. A few months back. And DJ was hot earlier that same year. And I think he was pretty hot in 2019 too. So
he always wins to at least a couple per year. Seems like damn. He's as of late. He wins at least a couple tournaments.
Jason Voorhees, just walk forward.
The emotionalist man. So let's get to our Manny Millions for this one. If we're doing it.
Yeah, it's Adam. I should look this up how to pronounce it. Shinek. Shinek. SCHENK.
Adam Shinek.
Shinek. Shinek. Okay.
That's what we're going with. Yep.
We're going with that. Okay, Adam. From now on, I'll be calling him Adam. He was +8 today, and for the tournament, he actually had a pretty bad fourth round, if I remember too. I think he went like +6 today or something like that. Won $15,247. Adam is 6'2", 190 pounds. He's 29 years old. He's married to Courtney. He was born and raised in Indiana, some city I don't even know. 2014 graduated from Purdue University with a degree in management.
Yeah.
The Boilermakers. Yeah, he was born and raised in the same little town in Indiana. And we'll talk a little bit more about that when I get through his personal life. He went pro in 2015. He joined the PGA Tour in 2018. Okay. He has 0 wins, 0 second places, no third places. He has 4 top 10s.
Okay.
Out of 107 events, he's made 64. So that's more than half. What is his career earnings? I don't even know who won last.
Claude won last week.
I won last week. So this is low. This is really low.
This is low. Yeah.
I'm going to come in at $268K. Basically, Courtney married a poor guy. But anyway.
Okay. I did have it more than that. You said 4 top 10s. So I figured I had him at least 1.1. At least just over.
Yeah, 4. Yeah, Claude. I don't know what math you doing, but it's bad. 4 top 10s alone should get you
close to 600,000 probably.
Close to at least $500,000 top 10s. Yeah, because you're gonna buy 100,000, 80,000, something like that.
Right.
So it's 2.9 would be his. So Courtney did that.
Courtney
did not marry.
She married a great,
respect to my name,
winner.
Right, because you're talking 3 years. So basically 3 years and 2.9.
Yeah,
$1 million a year. And you never heard the guy before. You know what I'm saying?
Never heard of him. Never.
He's making $1 million a year. And that's his winnings. We're not counting if he got any endorsements. So a little bit about his personal life. As I say, he is married. They don't have any regrets yet. He has a golden retriever named Bunker.
That's nice because of Bunker and golf. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. It makes me wonder if he treats him well though. I don't know.
Right, kicks him right, beats him in the head with a like that lady at Maryland Nash that went to drown a dog. Remember?
That's when the conversation turned real dark. I don't even know how we got on drowning dogs.
We got on it because we were talking about something. And I said, "Well, I saved the worm off the. Remember that worm is going across the green? I saved the worm and put it over. Yeah, keeps going to die out there. So I put him in the shade. So save his life.
And she said something about, I'll drown a dog or something. It was like, okay. It's real weird.
That's a Bryson comment.
Right.
That's exactly something Bryson would say, and then we'd all look at him like, "What?"
She wanted to make us laugh, and so she said something, and it probably didn't feel that awkward in her mind. But
it sounded funny to her head.
Because when she said it, she looked and said, "Yeah, that was that
was weird. Where did that come from?" Right?
Yeah, she said, "Where did that come from?" No, I love animals.
Out of your dark recesses of your mind. That's where it came from.
Just please make my turkey club so I can get out of here because I ain't got time to mess around.
Right? Because you're scaring me now, lady.
Oh shit.
Okay, so his hobbies are ping pong, basketball, and hanging out with Bunker on the farm.
Of course.
So he grew up on a sod and grain farm. The sod farm. They grow corn, beans, wheat, and 3 types of grass: Zoya, fescue, and the Kentucky bluegrass.
Okay.
Which the family sells to local golf courses. There you go. There you go.
All right.
So
those are some good fun facts.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you'll need this
really
when you're
exciting.
on Jeopardy or something, or whatever those shows.
Yeah, I hope the people listening didn't crash their cars with excitement after hearing about
But before we
grass,
grass is a grass salesman.
Folks, please hold on to the steering wheel. Just sit down.
A grass salesman.
Oh my gosh! You got bluegrass, SQ.
Yep, and Zoya. 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 Yeah, my father was just another side rabbit hole. When I was a kid, my father was obsessed with the Zoya grass.
Really,
he wanted it in our front yard, and it looked great in the summertime.
Right.
But in wintertime, it all dies out, and shit looks dead. It looks dead.
Right.
But he fretted over that grass, and he loved his Zoya grass. Boy, he really did. We went out and bought plugs. When he wanted to put it in, he put plugs all around and let it grow. I mean, it was a whole little deal, man. We spent like a year getting this stuff to grow. But every time I hear that, I think about my father, the damn grass. So before we leave the PGA, Chasing Hadley, the guy who had the lead. Mm-hmm. Man, I felt bad for Younger. I really did. And the guy who won, he was like, oh, I won because he was on a practice. He was on a range because he got the clubhouse. He was in the clubhouse. They were tied when he went in, and it was, I won't say it was obvious, but I would assume it was his nerves that got to Chasing Hadley because the last 3 holes, it was just obviously he was feeling the pressure.
It was a Lexi Thompson situation.
I was just about to say, did it look like Lexi?
Okay. And it got to him because he was striping. Well, the funny part about it too, he'd only made 4 greens of regulation up to like the 16th, 17th hole. So he was just scrambling. He was wedging the man there close, and he was getting pars.
Right.
But on the last few holes, man, he just it was just terrible. It was hard to watch. It really was hard to watch because I really felt bad for him.
I'm looking for it now.
Right, you go find the highlights. Yeah, I felt bad for him. And the guy
Vern is currently Googling Chasing Hadley meltdown.
Because that's basically what happened. Because Higo was in, like I say, he was on the range because he's figured he's going to have to go to playoff. Mm-hmm. And his approach shot to 18 went over the green. I think it actually hit up into the clubhouse, the stands or whatever back there,
right,
and bounced down. So he had a long pitch shot to get on the green, but he got up to like 10 feet, and he had a 10-foot breaking left to right to send it to playoff, and he didn't miss about much, but he missed it. And that was that. So dude, and that's the same thing. So like if DJ has just he got it up to 11 or 10 or whatever at one point. If he had just stayed there, he'd have been in the playoff. You know what I mean? But he moonwalked too, and all of them did. Harris,
I did see that one.
He moved. Oh Lord, on 18. He played. We looked like we could have been golf buddies at that point because he was hitting. He hit one across. He was like he hit it far to the right.
Right.
Then he barely got it over the water and it was still in the rough. Then he hit it again and it went like 20 feet and he had to hit it again. I'm like, shit, I could do that. And well, you know what I mean? Got practice with that. And he finally got it on the green, and it was a mess. It was a mess. He went from like second to I don't know 5th or something just in that one hole. Yeah, because he couldn't get it in. But
that's all right. They're going to turn it on this week, baby. Big week coming up.
Yes,
U.S. Open. Before we get to the U.S. Open, let's talk a little bit of Corn Ferry because you wanted to hit on that.
Yeah. So the Corn Ferry Tour this week, I forgot the name of the thing already. I'm sorry. No, it's not even that. But whatever. Our buddy, Yeah,
Well,
I guess.
Air quotes.
Yeah, I put that in air quotes.
A guy we've been following.
A guy we've been following, and who we root for, even though he wouldn't. He blew us off on the interview or whatever. And we make sure you gonna how you do that thing? We send it to him so he can listen to it. Yeah, whatever that's called.
Okay.
DM him or whatever.
Yeah.
Direct message him, add him, or do like at Willie Mack. Yeah, do that thing. Yeah, do that thing because I want Willie to hear this. Okay. This is LB Willie. I was a guy walking past you in the parking lot. Say, hey, brother, and you like, yeah, whatever. Keep it moving. Okay, all right.
That happened?
I didn't know that happened. I didn't know that happened.
Damn.
Well, he didn't say it, but you gave you that look like.
Did he even give you just a standard nod? Because you didn't. You just like the standard.
This was after the round. This was at Willie. This was at Valhalla.
Okay.
It's after the round. Everybody was pretty much done. Right now, we're walking back to our car, which is past where he was at. We walked past him, and another guy was standing talking. And I just gave him the customary, what's up? Like you, any other brother or anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I ain't get much of a response. So okay, that's cool. But I'm still rooting for you. Either way, I'm still rooting for you.
You're all we got.
Yeah, even if you're in the family,
even if you're gonna big time us, that's fine. Yeah. BMW charity program, right?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So they Willie made the cut. I was happy for that. He finished at -9. I think the winner was at -25, something like that.
-27.
27. Yeah.
Another recent winner, Mito. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back to him because there's a whole much to him.
Yeah.
But Willie finished at -9. He ended at one point he was up at as high as 31st. But everybody else kind of went up. So he finished at a tie for 62nd. And at that level, you get $2,842 for his win, for at least for his purse, whatever. Another guy, he finished at T67.
It's like a win on the APGA.
Yeah.
It's like a first place. Yeah. The last first place pool was like $4,000. Okay. All right.
Yeah. No, actually, is it 4? Yeah, it's a 4.
It was maybe it was.
I think it's around 8. I think it's around 8 or something for the winner. But
right.
The other guy, Chase Johnson, I believe he is black. I tried to find some stuff on him. Chase Johnson, have you all heard of him?
Have not.
So when you watch the PGA, they have these commercials that play, and and it's about the Corn Fair, and they ask these guys, "What are your goals?" And he's in one of those commercials. He looked like he might be mixed, but I was trying to find some information on to find out what his nationality or his racial makeup is, but I could not find anything. But he missed the cut. I'll find out more about him next time.
I'm looking at a picture of him. He black.
Yeah, right.
I'm saying this unofficially. I haven't looked at this Wikipedia. What I'm telling you is, if he showed up in somebody's backyard right now, and they called the cops, they wouldn't be like, "There's a mixed man back there." they would use another term. So when you see
a man of mixed nationality,
we're not sure what he is, right? No, they weren't gonna say that about Chase.
No.
But he's in that commercial,
full drawn, ER and everything. Yep, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay. So I was happy to see Willie make an APGA regular player.
Right.
I don't know how I guess sponsor exemption or whatever.
He got exemption.
But he actually got in there and made the cut.
Yeah.
Because most of the times, so when I say most, I mean all of the ones that at least since I've been paying attention.
Right.
They get exemptions into any kind of tournament. They don't make the cut. So I'm happy for that, and I hope he does well and I continue success. Even though you're big time, that's all good. I'm still pulling for you. Now back to the guy who won, Mito Pereira.
Yeah, Pereira. Yep.
This is his third win this season on the Corn Ferry.
Argentina. He's making 11,
which makes him he automatically gets his PGA card.
Congratulations, Mito.
Right. Yeah, good for him.
He's the 12th players in the history of the Corn Ferry Tour to do that, to get to get 3 wins in the season.
Right.
I didn't know they had that until the day when I was watching. They said, "Oh, he automatically get his tour card." And what I don't know, does that mean is like immediate or they're like for the next season? How does that work?
I haven't looked that up because I'm curious. Because
there's some stuff this year. I'm like, well, I want to go play the U.S. Open now. I mean,
well,
you know what I mean?
So I might want, if I had just won and I'm hot now, I might want just a little buffer. Can I get like a 30-day notice? I don't know if I want to jump right in to the PGA Tour and then
and flame out or whatever. But the card would be for a year though, right? I'm assuming the card's for at least for a season.
Yeah, I'll find out why you.
Yeah. Well, what's interesting though, I mean, I feel like Vern, I feel like you said that, but I feel like if you were to get that card, you'd want to go right in. I mean, I think
because he's hot.
True. I mean,
that's true. He's playing well.
But I'm just saying, I'm not saying like in a theoretical like here's what he should or shouldn't do. I'm saying like for Vernon Brown, if Vernon Brown won 3 times on the Corn Ferry Tour in a season and got his card, I feel like you would not.
You'd be like,
take that advice. You'd be like, I'm going on tour.
I would because I know that it's going to evaporate at some point. So I would just like we need to capitalize on this right now while I have a chance.
Yeah, try to get hot, get a few
couple top tens.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Make some cuts. Let's start with making some cuts.
Yeah, you're right. Let me jump straight to the top.
Let's just make some cuts and then we'll work our way up from there. There you go.
Yeah,
that's payday. If you're making cuts, you're getting paid, and you're getting your points. That's what you got to do.
Right. Many millions,
right. You got to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of getting paid, U.S. Open week is this week. Jon Rahm said he has been cleared to play. He's done with COVID-19, but that's weird because to me, I'm just like, because it wasn't even 14 days ago when that happened, right? If I'm not mistaken. No. So, but I guess maybe it will be by the time.
That's true.
By that time, but it's only been a week now because the day is Sunday. It happened like last Saturday. It happened last week.
Right.
So we're only talking 8 days.
And was he going to fly in the morning of his tee time and then just, you know what I mean? I don't know, but we'll see how it works. Anyway, he said that he's cleared to play. I don't know who some of the early favorites are. I think Jon Rahm. Well, Jon Rahm's got to be one of them, right? I mean, he was playing
decent, and
Jon
Rahm is the favorite. He is the favorite.
He's the favorite
at 10-1. Yeah, keep going. I'm sorry.
This stuff is so hard to predict because I mean, I feel like we do this every time we get to a major. We pull out, Rahm. We pull out JT.
Yep.
Now that Spieth is somewhat back, and he's a name that we don't, but others pull out. And it seems like very rarely do those guys win it. You know what I mean? When we, when we predict that.
Very rarely when I bet do any of them win. So you're right. You are right, Claude. The Digital Gamblers going to take it away here. So Jon Rahm. Now JT outside the top 5 now. It's Rahm, Koepka, Dustin Johnson, Bryson, and Spieth. Those are your top 5.
Brooks didn't even make the cut at this.
I know.
I know. Whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah, at this most recent one, and then he's actually number 2. He's at 16-1, basically 16-1. So,
shouldn't the PGA mess around with them a little? The USGA mess around with it a little bit and pay a Bryson and Brooks together.
Yes. As an aside, there's been a lot of that this week, and articles written about that, and because Brooks had a comment where he said basically, I'm paraphrasing, that this is good for golf, and then in the comments of some of the places where I saw that argument, people were like, oh, it's this isn't what the game is about, and I won't go back into what I said last week, but just go back and listen to the podcast. This is professional sports. At the end of the day, nothing's even happening. They're not going at each other's like wives on Instagram. Like go get into some of this stuff that happens in football. Even racing. I found out that like racing, they be having like the personalities will have like hot beefs and stuff like that. They yell someone else's name when Bryson hits the ball. Get off. Anyway, I'm not. We're gonna beat so anyway.
Wouldn't it be interesting though if they did that pairing and Brooks is like, I'm withdrawing. I'm not playing with him. Like I'm not.
I refuse. Right.
Well, see, then I'll be mad at Brooks. Because now you're shying away from an opportunity. Because if that's the Jordan move or whatever, I want this. I'm gonna smoke you. I'm gonna get in your head and beat you down. Yeah, exactly. But I'm surprised to see Spieth up there in the top 5. Then we got the rounds out with then JT is like 8 or 9 or whatever. Xander, Roy, Colin Morikawa. Just really quickly,
Xander was up there?
Xander, yeah. So I'm gonna get so really quickly. So for the course, right? Torrey Pines South. You're looking at crazy rough, like destructo rough. They've been showing you go on Instagram, just search US Open. You'll see a bunch of players out there showing you how thick it is. Very small greens and Pola Annua greens. Yeah, Poa annual, which is a grass that a grass salesman would know about. Shout out Adam Shinnick and the Shinnick family farm. So
yeah, we'll get someone from his family to come on and explain to us
explain how
talk about the grass.
What you need to know, the seed comes out.
It's like what's really interesting is that this grass only goes like, but you may not know this.
Enough time, and we appreciate having you on the show, brother.
Okay, I'm sorry. I got to say this right quick.
Yeah.
So this guy Hadwin, the guy who blew up the other day, I was just running through. I was trying to figure out what number he was before this tournament because he was almost won it. In his special interest, it says Jesus Christ Friends Fun. Okay, I'm done.
Okay.
All right.
I can't do anything with that now.
All right.
You led with Jesus Christ. There's nothing.
Yeah. Well, you Those are his interests.
That's his interest. Special interests.
Can't go with Jesus.
Friends and fun. Okay.
Well, he might need Jesus.
I'm sure he praying tonight. He praying or cussing. He doing one of the two.
Probably both. Because the rough is crazy. The greens are really small. So the greens are going to be really we've all seen Torrey Pines a bunch. It's been featured a lot, but the greens there, you got to keep in mind, very tiny, very fast, right? So the favorite, if you're going to bet, Xander's going to get hammered. He's still sitting at like a pretty good value. He's sitting at 20-1. Excuse me.
He's from that area too, right?
Yes. Yeah, and at the Farmers Insurance Open earlier this year, T second, came in second basically. It was chasing down Spieth. I believe it was Spieth who won, or whoever won. But so Xander's kind of the favorite right now. If you want to go with like a sort of an outsider, Louis Oosthuizen, also pretty good value. After winning,
I would never put money on him.
He's sitting at 60-1. So what you have to realize, LB, is with betting, you're just trying to go with like, hey, who has good stats, but that's not really value. Exactly.
Right,
so he's sitting at about 60-1.
And he hasn't had a bad year.
Nope. Second at Kiel. He came in second at Kiel. He did pretty good there. Yeah.
Well.
Okay, no,
that was really, to me. He should have lost by a couple of strokes because that ball should have been out of bounds. I don't care what nobody say.
Oh, you're making a ruling like this one, are you? Okay.
Yeah, I saw it. I synced it myself on TV. That ball should have been out of bounds. He should have had to go back and tee it up again.
Oh,
he got a break.
He ranks first in strokes gained putting, which is going to be critical out there.
LB's like 2 steps away from being the guy who calls the tour when he says, "Hey, so and so granted their club," and they're saying, do the replay, see it on television. It's going to cause him a stroke. He's like, why? He's going to be the guy calling the tour,
calling and making the rules officials go back and look at the tape, check the tape. And then last but not least, a long shot. If you want like a long shot, if you just want to gamble, if you're out here doing meme stocks and doing all sorts of silly bleep, you might as well go ahead and put some money on
AMC.
Jason. Oh, here we go. Jason Kokrak. He's 100 to. Well, here's the thing: people are catching on to this because when I took my notes like a day ago, he was 100-1 on my book. Now he's at like 90-1. So people, because again, they're giving you crazy odds for somebody who's coming in with really good stacks. He is top 20 in strokes taken off the tee to green, and putting. So he's in terms of like riding a hot hand that you haven't heard of. That would be one, and then that's pretty much. I don't want to go too deep into that. If a play I would make would be the Triple Crown. So this is where you bet somebody to make a top 5, a top 10, and a top 20. So obviously you would do this. If you think they're going to make a top 5, then you win the other 3 bets. Right. I would put Xander or probably one of the favorites. You play it safe and you go with favorites with this. So Xander, maybe Cam Smith, Xander, somebody like that. People who can putt well at Torrey Pines. I'm looking forward to this week. This is one of my favorite majors, and I'll be watching probably every minute of the coverage as soon as it starts on Thursday. So
absolutely. Yeah. Wait, just so I know, where do they have Patrick Reed?
Reed. Let's see. Let's jump down here.
Let's see Fat Pat. Who we got Fat Pat at?
Yeah, Patrick.
They got him at 33-1. So he's like maybe 11 down. So right under Tony Finau. Tony Finau at 30-1. Yeah, but I couldn't do it.
Ain't no way I put up. The only thing I would bet on Tony Finau is be like what you said earlier. A top something. He gonna be in the top 20. Top 20. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Bet. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I would not bet to win. Oh hell, I wouldn't even put him in top 5.
Yeah, that's a safe bet. I'm going to look for like a parlay, which is where if you don't know, it's where you string together multiple bets. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to look for a parlay for like a top 10 with him, maybe Colin Morikawa. I like Colin Morikawa, but he's sitting at 22-1. Because again, this is where you want your iron players and your putters. They're going to come out. And so to your point earlier, just remind everybody again about DJ. And this is why DJ is not in the top anything right now because he's missing. Wow, he's like way down here. No, never mind. I'm sorry. There he is. He's third, but still, Still missing all these greens. And then Torrey, that's going to make you pay. So
like I say, because he was hitting out of the pine straw and behind trees, and his wedge play was really bad this week. So he need to cut back on the coke and just sit back and do some wedge play.
He's not doing that anymore.
He's not doing it no more. Oh, okay. Well, good.
Wayne Gretzky said he's not having that around Paulina now.
No,
good. He's not doing that anymore. Okay, yeah, you can't do it when you got kids, man. You got to stop that stuff out when you got kids. Yeah. They got kids, right? When they got a couple kids?
I don't think Dustin Johnson has any children. Yeah,
I ain't say he did. I think don't Paula got a couple. I thought
Paulina.
No, I think they both. I think they have a kid together.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. We do it. Yeah. This is why you listen to the show, folks, for accurate details and research. I'm looking it up now.
Look him up real quick. I'm pretty
Golf
sure
DMV gossip corner. We're talking about who's got kids with who and how many.
They have 2 sons.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay.
You know what? Congratulations, Dustin Johnson, on your children. How about
there you go?
A little bit late.
There you go.
But
there you go.
Congratulations.
2015 and 2017, the same years as my children. So
there you go.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah. Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well,
you got to stop doing drugs. You got kids, man.
That's one would hope that people would. Yeah. So before we get out of here, Vern teased the last 2 weeks about some special surprises that he had.
Yeah. I said it would revolutionize the game, but I oversold it a little bit.
So Vern, explain
it
what
does
you got.
revolutionize the way we score the game.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about what you got.
So ahead of this Pinehurst trip, I was like, man, what can we do to, because we're probably not going back to number 2, probably not going back there anytime soon. What can we do to make this more like the pros? And I was like, oh, you know what? We're going to be walking. We're going to have caddies. Let's go ahead and get some scorecard holders, right? A little fancy leathers. So I went to Blue Gas Fairway and got a couple of nice handmade leather. And you can see if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to see LB holding it up. A handmade leather scorecard holder / yardage book, and it's engraved with his name. Yep, it's got Lawrence's name on it. Aaron has his name on it, and Claude. Now, unfortunately, Claude's name was one character too long, so they did CJ. I put C Jennings. I put C Jennings in there, and it just says CJ. But
cool. That's
nice. Yeah. And Aaron has his engraved. So now when we go there and we play on number 2. And we got the. I'm sorry, and I got the yardage books. We got the yardage books for 4 and 7 directly from Pinehurst, and a little scorecard thing, so we can go there and walk down the score. Put our 8s and 9s in there, just like the pros do.
Exactly. Yeah, we got that's number 4. You see that? Okay.
Yeah. LB's holding up all the for those listeners.
Number 7.
All the yardage books. Yeah.
And then over here we have the actual scorecard here.
Just a little
scorecard, so you can write on all your notes.
Got little stats in there and stuff like that.
Like the pros do.
Yeah.
Incredibly thoughtful.
Absolutely.
Incredibly nice. I mean,
very nice. That's the one thing about the Browns, man. They don't do nothing. Like I go get stuff off Craigslist. Vern would never buy anything off Craigslist. No.
He's going. You guys.
No, you wouldn't even do it for yourself. We know you.
No way in the world you would do
it. No, he's gonna write online, say, okay, how much is it? It'd be 2 companies. One company be $49, another company be $75. Vern about a $75 one just because I think it's better. It costs more. It got to be better. It could be the exact same thing from the exact same manufacturer. You're going to pay $75 because that's what Vern do.
He's always top notch, and I appreciate it, Vern.
Absolutely, man. It was incredibly thoughtful. It really was.
Yeah, no, it was. It was incredibly thoughtful, and I can't wait. I can't wait to look at mine because I have errands, and so I can't wait for me and Aaron to catch up so we can switch.
Yeah, the monogram is covered.
And I felt it was kind of funny, and I felt because you know how when you have that surprise, and then it's like, oh, it didn't go the way. Because when I opened it, and so Vern was like, he's like, yeah, and it's engraved. So I opened like. And he said, "Oh no, that's Aaron's." I was like, so that almost stole from the moment, but I felt great because I'm looking at it like, man, this is really, really cool. This is really, really awesome.
I love the smell of leather.
Fine leather. I mean, that was really class A.
Like I said, the credit to the wives, Mrs. Brooks and Mrs. Jennings, they helped out because I reached out to both of them on the low and was like, "Yo, which one of you?" The only reason, because again, if you're gonna get something engraved for somebody, you should. My thought was you should try to get it as close to what they would get for themselves. If I was just getting like a regular one, I just buy 3 of the same color and then call it a day. And, unfortunately, I couldn't get a hold of Mrs. Holland. I told Aaron that, but he said she's very busy. So I just picked the color, and he said I'll be the color he's looking at is of course Claude's, but they're similar enough. So he'll be happy.
I don't want to be picky, but I really do hope that the color you got me is similar to the one that you.
It is. It is.
I like that.
It's like a bourbon, like a dark. Would
it be fun? Like, I don't know if I like this one. No, that's
a Rick.
Hey, you can always scratch his name out and put your name on
it. Right? That's a Rick McCormick. By the way, Rick McCormick is back. He's gonna be playing golf with us this weekend.
Yep.
After his whole procedure and everything, he's doing good. Yeah. So shout out to Rick. Yeah, it'd be fun to sit here and watch him spray Windex on his irons and wipe them down after every shot.
He doesn't do that. That's Charles.
Oh, that's Charles. That's Charles.
Charles does.
Yeah. Charles does the Windex. Rick takes really good care of his new clubs, though.
He does.
He's going to wipe them down and got his coat hanger to so they don't touch
keep the handles dry. Yep.
Yeah. So that's going to be fun. And we'll report back on the Father's Day round next week. All right, folks. It's Golf DMV.